Hey, welcome back. This is Adventures with Dr. Joe. I'm going to try to put a link here to click and subscribe. And please click like, it helps a lot. Click the bell, you'll get new videos, and comments are always welcome. We're going to try to fix this Wild Bill's squirrel proof bird feeder. It's a mess. Let's take a close look. So, although this thing is supposedly squirrel proof, I'm going to show you that it's really not. The squirrels have eaten through the wire and totally torn apart and destroyed all of these perches. So we're going to try to fix all this, replace the wire, replace this section that's been totally chewed out and ruined. Look at this perch, completely ruined the bird feeder. But I think if we can replace it, clean it back up, I think it's going to be good again. Here's our replacement parts. We've got the new external clear hopper with all the holes in it, and then the new perches, the new inserts, and we'll be able to replace all of those. But first we need to take this apart and get it all cleaned up. The first thing to do is to unscrew this wing nut, take the base out, and take out the battery. You don't want to shock yourself when you're fixing this. Well, I'm going to basically wire brush this and get this all cleaned up. So here at the wire weir, we're going to clean this up, but I've got safety glasses and some breathing protection. See how nicely that's cleaning that up? Okay, take a look at this. Soft aluminum cleans up really nicely. So now we've got a really good base for a bird feeder. Let's go back and take a look at it again. So internally, the wiring looks good. All of this is intact, except where they chewed off the wire, which is out down here, and should come up through this hole here. So we're going to replace this wire and take off the plastic hopper. So instead of trying to take the nut off the inside rod, we'll take it off here. This is a 7/16 nut, and we'll slip this, try to slip this all the way off. And of course, once you get to this point, there's another nut here. I'm going to try to take that one out as well. Loosened it, and we'll unscrew it from the threaded rod, and hopefully this whole piece comes out. Okay, the rod's off. Here's the lock washer and the spacer, and this baby should just kind of come out. Alright, there it is. This allows us to also see where the wire has broken, where it goes, and I'm going to fix that. I'm going to take it out and solder it in place, a new one. So let's take the base off this, get rid of that mess. And we'll look at our brand new hopper here and get ready to put it together. So this is the wire that comes through this hole, and it's out, and then it's held to these aluminum perches, which completes the circuit to give the shock to the squirrels with a little clip. Let's take that out, and then right here I'm going to solder on a new wire. So I'm going to take a length of wire from my wire storehouse, try to see about how long we need it. And then a little extra. So we'll cut it off right about here and start to work on that. Okay, so we're going to strip a little Other remaining wire right here. Strip some on our new wire as well. And then we'll prepare this to be soldered. So you can see that I've twisted those wires together now. Put a little heat on it. A little rosin core solder. So I've heated it up and put a little more solder on there. Now we're just going to wrap it up in a little electrical tape. You could use a liquid tape, which I don't have right now, but that's a good alternative. But this is a tried and true method that works well. So there's our joint. That's nice. Now we're going to feed this up through that hole here. See it, and up it comes. And then we're going to bring it through the hole in the clear hopper. Put this back together. I have to hook these clips again back to the perches. I'll get a close-up view of that in 1 second. Okay, here we can see that clipped back onto the perch. Okay, now to put our spacer back on. Our lock, washer, and nut. We're going to tighten this way down and then put the circuit board back on it. Okay. So we're nice and tight here. We're going to hook our little circuit board on it. Put our nut. I just want to be sure there's no interference with these wires, that it's not pushing on anything. There we go. Okay. Snug down this nut. Tighten this. So now you can see circuit board's back in place. Here's the on-off switch. The wire has been routed through here, comes out through here. Now we're ready to put our perches on and finish the connection with this wire. The end of the existing wire has a nice connection. We're going to use that. We're just going to splice into it right about here, and so we've got adequate length. So let's do that right away. Let's go ahead and clip it off. Strip our wire here and here. We'll again weave these together, and with a small torch we'll make a nice solder connection. There we go. Okay, there is one thing to note, that there's a little pin here that needs to index right here between these two. Otherwise we're going to have the perches offset. But if we line it up like this, the perches will be perfectly in line with the little feeding outlets. Okay, let's just review. We've got the clips onto the aluminum perches here and here. Lock washer, nut, spacer. Then we've got the circuit board nice and free with a nut, and where we have the 12-volt battery lead, that's nice and free. And we have this, here's the indexing pin. Index so that the perches are lined right up with the openings. Let's put those feeders on now. So these do not have a pin, and they're put in like this, and it's a press fit just like that. Put all four in like that. You don't want these upside down. So this is how they're going to look when it's right side up. Okay, so we put a long one in, now we'll put a short one. Short one goes like that. These two clips grab the lower edge, and then the upper clip literally gets pushed in. Takes a little effort, just like that. And again, just to film the final one, here it is. The perch is toward the base, the hooks are down, so they're put in first, and then snap it in. Well, that one worked easier than the others. Alright, at this point we can be sure it's turned off. Connect our battery. So I just like to leave the battery loose, which makes it easier to replace, because then all you have to do is loosen the base a little bit, the battery comes out, you change it without having to take the base off. So the base goes on, the wing nut goes on, and we're ready to put the top on. Okay, now that I've got the wire connected, we'll just reconnect it with this part. The wire literally just fits inside here. This arm will grab that eye screw, and then there is a completed feeder. So the feeder's been repaired. Even though it's squirrel proof, if the battery fails, those squirrels will tear this thing apart. They'll just eat it up and mess it up. And then, but we can fix it. We can repair it, we can restore it. So now I'm getting ready to fill it up with our sunflower kernels and hang it up and enjoy feeding the birds again. So again, thank you very much. Adventures with Dr. Joe. Please click subscribe, like, the bell will let you know of new videos. It helps a lot. Thank you so much.